So, was that how long exactly have you been doing this? Like before you stepped down?
What? Doing what, mate?
The the stuff for NATO.
More or less like 2 months after the game was created.
For Forger?
Yeah.
Shit, it was
Well,
what?
that'd be getting close to 3 years, wouldn't
Yeah, roughly that. That's three and a half at least.
it? Yeah.
So, just but anyways, go knock out interjections. Uh, Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sit Down, or the Sit Down. Yeah. Um, Fresh off his announcement that he is stepping down and let a new generation of folks take over uh, in NATO, we are joined by Nomad. Welcome to the show.
How are you? Cheers for having me, mate.
The first night where you actually don't have to fucking be bombarded with messages from like different people in the Discord. Was that actually like was it the quietest?
Um. Well, yeah. Obviously, Kindpot took over for a while, and then I made the announcement. But yeah, mate. After last night, I was getting messages till up about 6 o'clock yesterday morning. I was there like, oh my god.
This is everyone's like was like everyone's like congrats or don't go or some shit.
Mate, a lot of them were saying that they're actually surprised I handed it on. It's like it's kind of how it works, though, isn't it? Nothing that you want to survive is gonna survive if you don't give it for the future generation to put their twist on it and their stuff and things. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck in the old ways, and it's no good to anyone.
Right. I think you actually told me you were going to do this a while back, and it's either you or someone else that said that. Cause so who's the guy that stepped down before you?
Copycat.
Yeah, it's either him or you that told me about like this was like coming. Like,
Yes, he was sec gen. He was.
yeah, it's fucking. I mean, lot of reasons like a lot of reasons I can see people besides wanting other people to take a swing at things is mainly because on like for the folks that are stepping down, it's like they have like IRL stuff coming up, so that it makes
Yeah,
sense.
it works out quite well, really, because I have got like life is more or less taking its turn, so I ain't got time anymore. So it's timed it quite well. I've done me 2 3 year stint, so I'm happy. I just needed to give it up at the right place with the right team. You know what I'm saying? I weren't going to give it up if, like, in the nicest possible way, I had absolute terrible people in the command staff or the moderator staff.
Right.
But it's
So,
like giving your base to a crackhead. You know what I'm saying?
so you guys mentioned in the announcement it started out as ESAF, ISAF. Like, can you dive into that for a second? It's like, is that some? Because I remember seeing the name ISAF, and it just instantly goes back to like Ace Combat 4.
Yeah. So when it first started, obviously there was all the communities for Milsims and all the other good conjunction. But I was sat there and I was like, there's not a lot of places where you can just go in, get knowledge, possibly get some help, and then disappear again if you wanted to. There wasn't really a lot of that when it first started up. I mean, yeah, there was Armor 3 and that, but no one really delved into Reforger. So I was like, right, a lot of people like calling themselves NATO. We're not big enough for that. Well, ISAF developed off NATO in real life, but that's a different story. Um, but ESAF came around, Everon Security Assistance Force, because obviously when the game first came out, there was only Everon. So I delved it off that as an alliance of people brought together for the betterment of the game. So then ESAF came around, and then Dev grew, 2Dab, 75th. A lot of people started pouring into it. So I was there like, oh god, we're getting bigger and bigger, just like the units did in real life. So I was there like, right, we'll change the name to ISAF. But then because everyone started phasing away from Middle East conflicts, and they started putting more into like
You're,
European, Africa, the game started expanding everywhere. I was like, right, so now because we're going into the armor free realm as well. That is when I changed the name to NATO. It was voted on, so we changed it to NATO, so it covers every spectrum we could think of. And it doesn't. You're just not calling it something like Milsim community. Everyone knows NATO by a brand name. You know what I mean? Through history or school or anything, you've heard the name NATO.
yeah.
So it was like a brand name that stuck. So we used that, and then we just more or less developed it off there. If you know what I mean.
So you tell me were like the European African maps the only ones, or like did you guys also interact with like the Asian, Southeast Asian maps?
But more or less delved into everything, mate. We had units from Armor Free talking about different maps. We had, was it Liam? We had some of the Aussies getting involved, New Zealand's. We had
Oh,
one Milsim from China, but I never heard from him again because he like deleted all his account. I was there like,
oh
okay,
shit! He know damn well he got in trouble.
yeah, I don't know, what he done. Everything just disappeared overnight. I was there like, oh god.
Uh, yeah, someone you could type in Tiananmen Square massacre, and next thing you know, a bunch of fucking China users get locked out of fucking War Thunder.
Yeah, you got to be very careful what you do and say nowadays, isn't you?
So the first 6 months, how were they? Were they real difficult, or what? Besides it being a learning curve, was it like difficult trying to like get everything to balance out, or did everything kind of just fall into place?
Yeah, so the first opening stages of ESAF as it was back then was very, very rough, mate, because as you know, being in the Milsim world, if you come from a brand or any other name like let's use the 75th for example. If I went to the 75th and I said, right, I've opened up ESAF, would you be interested in bringing your unit to join me? The amount of times I royally got told to fuck off, we are not interested in being brainwashed, is unreal. Um, but I had to like develop a paragraph. It was very much like a sales pitch. Have you ever seen the film The Founder?
The what?
Have you ever seen the film The Founder about McDonald's?
Uh, I don't think so. I believe I know what you're talking about. Where like it,
Yeah, so
what was it like?
he had to
Nick Nick
develop the sales pitch.
Nick Offerman's in it, I think.
Yeah, mate, that's the one. He had to develop a sales pitch that was so perfect that even the people involved in McDonald's would listen to him. Um, and the amount of times people just thought I was trying to bring their boys in, make their meals in mine, and it was back and two with some people. Some people were on board, some people were there straight up just trying to sabotage us from the beginning. But yeah, mate, it was getting in, setting up base rules. Um, so again, ESAF originally started as like a library. It was just meant to be knowledge for civilians that wanted to start Milsim and didn't know where to fucking go. They could come in, get a bit of doctrine here and there, talk to people, talk to some veterans that have owned older Milsims like the armor free ones. Um, you know what I mean? It was just a hub where everyone could help each other with servers, with knowledge, setting up Milsims as it was, just everything in general. Um, but with that came along everything else. You had to set out the rules. We had to set out what could and couldn't go in talking. And then, as you have seen in various posts, it came out with poaching. It came out with blacklisting. It came out with stolen valor, and it kind of turned into, yeah, we are there to help people start them up because there was one point we started going into having our own server and funding people to have their own servers, and we had a few people here and there. They've disappeared. It just wasn't meant to be. Um, but that worked out quite well. But then, as you've seen, we more or less turned into policing the Milsim world and trying to keep the peace. Where people come in and just try and cause shit, we try and, well, I tried. We tried to gather all the evidence and make a sensible call on that person. So a lot of people, as you've seen, they just overreacted and left a lot of the discords where we were there, like, yeah, they've not done any wrong. But then a lot of the time, there was solid evidence that they were just being straight up nasty people. So we put the evidence against them, and then a lot of the community could see what these people were about.
Right. Uh, like how often would something like that happen? Because I know that you guys gone through pretty much your
Yeah,
your pretty much fair share of crap. Like how often would something like this happen? Would it be like a case of whack a mole where like you get done uh, setting one case down, like pretty much just finishing it, like get everything settled because this person came in and caused shit. Like after that, how long will it be before the next one pops off?
it varied, mate, honestly. So sometimes you could have like one or two cases here and there, nothing major. I think all of 24 was the quietest year we had. It was just pure quiet. You know what I mean? It was the starting years. It was just bliss, and then everyone started to get on each other's nerves because they were working in such confined spaces and they were looking to expand and work with other milsims, but with that became poaching and oh mate, the drama that came from it. But it's, well, as you've seen, there was a lot of cases that got put forward. Some of the cases were valid. Like you could see like, oh, do you want to come join the Milsim? I'll offer you this, and this. Your Milsim shit, blah, blah, blah. And people took it up and they were like, right, this person's poaching. Sound, show us the evidence, show us the conversations. And a lot of people just turn around and was
Right,
like,
yeah.
I'm not showing you evidence.
Like
But
I seen that happen. It's like even if there wasn't just as like some like a group of people leaving another unit, and like the unit they left was a pretty decent size. That unit's leadership would try and make they would be on like they would be pissed because no one likes losing a good chunk of people. And then they find
oh,
out, oh,
I'm right.
this group is making another unit and they're going to be in the same servers. Fuck it, let's make it difficult for them.
Oh, mate, honestly, the amount of times you've seen it and you sit and you scratch your head and you're like, oh, really? We're causing drama this time of night? Really?
It's like, bro, it's like, dude, you're a grown ass man, fucking
Exactly.
raising hell because this group left your unit, and it's like, what the fuck's even the point of you causing trouble? It's just gonna fucking keep on doing shit.
Yeah,
So
that is it.
what going through uh, ESAF, ISAF, NATO? What do you think was actually the most funniest part of all that? Like, was there a moment that sticks out to where like every time you think back of it, you get a little good chuckle?
Um, yeah, personally, my most funniest moment is when NATO and the 75th had a little spat with each other. If you do you remember that?
Yeah, I fucking remember that. That happened not
That
too
was
long
when
after
Brewer was getting
I joined NATO's Discord.
yeah, mate. That was when Brewer was getting investigated because he had multiple reports against him because he was part of the moderator team and he was part of the admin team. So the reports got submitted. We investigated it, and everything that was getting submitted was just hearsay. There was no evidence. There was nothing against him. And then one of his moderators that was under his branch of team, because we were split into different branches back then before I like solidified it into one central command. Um, they more or less invited a 75th member and just give them all the moderator rights. I was like, right, okay, you're getting booted.
Oh
No, I'm not.
fuck!
I'm not doing
Oh
this.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I
mate. I
I
was like, I'm not
woke
doing
up.
this.
I woke up to see a bunch of shit popping off in NATO. I was like, what the fuck did I miss?
Oh, mate, honestly. And then Mr. Brewer seen his ass because obviously I took one of his admins away, and mate, it just started a hell of a shitstorm, and I was there like, oh my god, I was just giggling. I was like, I'm trying to do them better here, and everyone's just going at me. I was just giggling like mad. That is personally the funniest moment. It's like the biggest misunderstanding led to like the biggest outrage ever.
Wait for a second.
We've had we've had funny moments. That's my personal one anyway.
He actually went out because of that. He actually went out to form his own Discord, didn't he?
He did, mate. Yeah. I wished him all the best. You know what I mean? I still, if I see him in game or he's in a VC, I'll speak to him. I have no issues with the bloke, but people do what they got to do, and they think they're doing it for the better of their Milsim. So good luck and fair play to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking.
We're not. NATO's not competitive, mate. It will probably be there. I hope whoever takes it on after Kind Pop will just keep it going and keep it going into whatever branch it goes into.
Wait,
You know what I mean? It's not.
is
It's
is
not a
is Kind Pup stepped? Is he stepping down?
no. No, obviously, Kind Pop will eventually have to step down.
Oh, I thought he was next. I was like, Jesus Christ, everyone's fucking
No,
leaving.
no, no. So he's under the same thing as me, mate. Give it 2 or 3 years and then let the next person go with it. 1 minute. Let me go.
It's like,
But
Jesus,
yeah,
I
it's
know he just took up
no, 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 no. So obviously we got a new sec gen and a new um secure as well.
what? Oh yeah, what was that last
It's,
one?
sec gen is Secretary General and secure is Supreme Allied Commander Europe.
Ah, okay.
It's basically it's split into two different. It tries to run off the same fundamentals as what NATO has in real life to stick to like what it has, but it's like it's split down into the two. So the sec gen will handle all admins, all political stuff that more or less involves NATO, as you've seen Copycat doing in the past. More or less all the political side and everything else that comes into NATO deals with them. But then Secure is more or less all over command. So it's like the official NATO image, everything within the Discord, um, and just dealing with moderators if they're being absolute arseholes, as you've seen in the past. SecGen's political, Secure is more or less the
Now,
powerhouse.
no, when it comes to NATO, there might be some confusion. They say someone watches this video or watches one of our past videos where because think I believe this is your second time on the stream with us. Um, is either you or someone else from NATO? We were talking about um, like what NATO is, all that shit. But if someone's looking at is NATO only for Arma or is it like multi-game platform?
So NATO does have other platforms. We've added a few games that people requested. They don't talk in them as much because obviously they have their own little discords and they have their own official discords for the likes of Ready or Not, Battlefront, Star Wars games, Star Citizen, so on and so forth. But people are more than welcome to come in and talk and advertise their Milsims and so on and so forth in those channels. It initially started as a Armor platform, so Armor 2, Armor 3, and Armor Reforger. Those were the intentions. We started off with Reforger, and then Armor 3 came into being an Armor 2. I don't even think anyone's got Milsims and Armor 2 anymore. But it's if people come in and request it, that is more or less, yeah. There is platforms there. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll have to look now, but
I know
it
there's
currently Insurgency Sandstorm, Star Wars, Squad, VR game platforms, Grey Zone Warfare, Star Citizen, DayZ.
I know there used to be like a thing for like space engineers. Like got one of the guys that I guess he was in that shit like when it's popping off and like keeping tabs on what's going on. He last time he told me about it, it's like there was like only two. It went from like a good decent chunk of like factions down. It's like down to two.
Oh God.
I mean, it's not for lack of trying. It's more or less like it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to do Milsims in a kind of like a futuristic vibe or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So what? Like now that you're out, like what's NATO's like goal so far moving forward? Like granted that you stepped down, it's like what's the direction that NATO's going?
So when me and Kyle Pop sat down together, we more or less discussed it, and my views or morals, should I say, are more or less the same as his. Just keep the peace, keep like the Reforger community together as a whole, and just keep moving forward as we can. So we discussed owning a server, but as we said, it would just cause more drama when people are trying to go in, kill each other. You get obviously the trolls,
Are you talking
the
about like
poachers.
on the Reforger server?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then we discussed various like armor free, and then we discussed the future, the future armor as well that's coming out.
Four.
Yeah, and it's one of those, mate. If the easiest way to describe the conclusion that me and Kind Pop came to is the best thing we can do for NATO is take it month by month. So if the moderator team get together and they all want to invest in a Reforger server, yeah, that's great. But they will have to do it as a team and not just one person. So it's either all in or not in at all, because for something as that, as you've seen, if you give it to the wrong people, it will just vanish overnight. But if you
Right.
give it to the right people and they nurture it and they build it, one server, mate, and you have that server nurtured and looked after by a dedicated team, it can go on for months, years even. But you give it to that one person one wrong night and they do admin abuse, they do fucking up the mods, they do fucking up the scripts, it's gonna vanish just like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you could speak its name and it's gone.
It's like
I
fucking.
don't, I
It's
don't
like a little Voldemort. And next thing you know, there's like, oh fuck.
yeah. Kind Pop doesn't want that. He's like, because me and him and a fair few of the moderator team have invested so much time into NATO. It's like you want to keep it going for as long as possible. It's like when you get a car serviced, the mechanic will tell you what else you need to do, and you'll be like, right, sound, we need to fix this, we need to do this, and we need to buy new parts. Sound, she's good to go for another 100 miles, 1,000, 10,000 miles, so on and so forth.
Right, I got you. So speaking of Armor Four, how excited were you guys when that actually finally got announced? Because as everyone knows, Reforger was more of a test bed for Bohemia to see if crossplay with PC and console was actually doable, and given the fucking results, it's more than likely hell doable.
Yeah, mate. So we were actually really, I personally was really excited. A few of the team members were as well. Now that, well, they're gone now, but yeah, they were excited. It's one of those as well because we had our own Milsims at the time. We were excited for the future of what Armor would be because remember when Armor 3 came out, it was absolutely diabolical. It wasn't the best game in the world, and then the mods just made it what it is today. And because more or less Armor 4 is going off what Reforger has, the same sort of engine, all they need to do is cross a lot of the stuff over and build upon what they've already developed. So we were deadly excited about that. Then it came about the prospect of Xbox and PlayStation or just PC. But most of us have invested in PCs now, and it's there like from the NATO perspective as well. Even if they don't choose console, they just choose PC. we can still help and nurture people from every perspective because we've been here since the more or less the beginning of Reforger. We've got myself, a few of the admins, and a few of the admins that have vanished, but they're still in the Discord. I've got and are heavily involved in armor free units. And then obviously we would take on what we know of Armor 4, speak to some of the Bohemia Interactive lot on the Armor Reforger server as well, and then try and help people in the future as best we can.
Right. So, for you come up in your first week out of your position, that just now you can just finally relax. Like, what are you like? What are you planning on doing? Uh, Now that you don't have to really worry too much about um, what's going on in NATO, this and that.
Honestly, mate, I'm looking forward to not having to look at my phone every 2 seconds and just see notification, ticket, 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 notification, ticket. I am really looking forward to that. The amount
Um,
of people that try and like op block in and op block out, and I'm there like, oh god, I hope one of the other moderators got time because I'm too busy with work, and I'm there like, I'll get around to it, I'll get around to it, and then 2 days later you're there like, oh, I never got around to it, and then you sit there for about an hour just trying to clear everything.
I was reading I was reading the chat. You got Alpha going like, why wouldn't they do PC? It makes Reforger pointless. It's like, yeah, but like they want to tap into a new, I don't know what you call it, dynamic or
Yeah,
a new market because you keep going like advertising to the same market, like constantly going to PC folks, marketing to them. It I can see it becoming stagnant after a while, so they want to kind of branch out because there's a shitload of people that own consoles compared to PCs. Yeah, PCs can run a lot better. I mean, anyone who's played fucking Reforger on PC, fucking with consoles, like, oh, there might be a point where everything's slow, then like after a minute, like all the console players deconnected or disconnected because some random fucking mod doesn't like this or that. Like someone even told me like there's a mod that doesn't like t-shirts or some shit.
yeah, mate.
I
I remember there was a point during that I think it was a few months ago actually. There was a point where everyone was saying, "Oh, it's the mods, it's this, it's that," but because the game went so wide, even the vanilla servers were crashing. You just sit there and laugh because you're there. Like people just blame anything just to try and get out of trouble of crashing.
so I mean, it's like you could tap into the fucking uh you tap into the console market. I mean, they already know. They've heard people come to them and say, "Hey, this is what's like. This is going wrong." And mind you, these mods aren't made by Bohemian. They're made by fucking Johnny Sins from his fucking back shed or some shit like that. Um, they're made by some guy named Joe in this fucking basement. So if I could see that Bohemia took these mods and ran with them in the next Arma, it's like it could become a lot. Could keyword there could become a lot cleaner. But that's
Hundred percent.
that'll be asking a lot of them because they already got a shitload on their plates. So
It all depends on what they can do from here, doesn't it? If they can master everything here before they even consider releasing Armor 4, then they'll be grand.
like you,
It's like if you go into a what's the example? If you go into battle, you're not just going to go battle untrained, are you? You're going to absolutely smash everything you can into your pre-deployment training before you go anywhere near it. That way, when you fully launch into battle, you know, you know what I mean. You know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and what's expected of you.
right,
That way, they can more or less program their engine, and they know the capability of it.
right, and like there'll be some mods that don't want to work with shit that's in the base game. It's like How the fuck do you expect for this shit to work if it's not gonna work with the game? So, but I was like, it's baby steps pretty much. But like then you got some characters. I don't even know some off the top of my head, but there are some mod makers that are phenomenal with what they do. Like fuck, I was digging around in this for Forge server called Lakeside, and I don't know
Yeah.
who these people are, like Gators, Cars, or some shit like that. It's like normally like you got this shitty basic truck, then you got like fucking Chevy Suburbans, Ford Raptors, all that shit. It's like that shit works. Like fucking server doesn't crash because of it, and it's like fuck it.
Yeah, mate. Compared to what I remember when I used to look on the workshop when the game first came out, it had like one or two like pages of test mods here and there. But now it has like what, it's over 300 and something odd pages. And some of the mods are tests, don't get me wrong. But then you look at some of them, it's like GRS, for example, mate. You wouldn't just like keep scrolling. You'd see anyone who knows Armor Reforger knows GRS and the customization it brings with it. The weapon systems, the plate carriers, the patches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when you see a good mod, it spreads by word of mouth. And then you tell your mate, and then they've told their mate, and about 3 Milsims later, they've all told each other, mate, and that bounces around like wildfire. But then it also bounces around when something goes wrong, because what lies travel faster than truth nowadays.
It's like they get it, next thing you know, it crashes, and he just looks. He looks. He's like, "You
Yeah,
told me this shit was
right.
good.
Yes, that's exactly it. Oh, this causes.
You lied to me, Timmy."
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I tell you what, like you won't be getting much, like all these pings. I guess to be like a lot better sleep.
sure. That was the joys of having a mixed. That was the joys of having a mixed mod team, mate. We were mixed between European, Australian, and American, so we covered all time zones.
But uh, so I know there's like a bunch of other Milsons. So we talked to one's down in Argentina, one down in we talked to one that's in somewhere in Mexico. I know we were trying to talk with one in Spain. Like it, if they wanted to join NATO, what would they need to do?
So the process is obviously they join NATO and they click on the bars. Do you want to be an applicant? Do you want to be a unit representative? Do you want to be a unit recruiter? So on and so forth. And they follow the steps from there. From there, they go into the op block. Op block is a military termination for massive administration. So op block is instead of booking one or two people in, you book a whole unit in. That's why it's called op block. So they go in there, they fill it in. Unit application. I'm pretty sure it's unit application unless the name has been changed. I'll check. It is. Um, that's not blocking, not block out. Yeah. Then they go into security clearance check. So all the security clearance check is, I'm not asking for, or NATO isn't asking for like your date of birth, your social security number, your PIN code, all of that. It's literally what unit do you represent, what is your appointment, just stuff related to Milsim, you know?
Right.
Nothing, no personal information, no nothing. Discord name, unit information, that is it. Um, and then from there, obviously, a moderator would look that over and be like, "Yeah, it's good to go," or "He's wasting me time. He's called himself Private Fucknuts in charge of the 76 fucking absolute shit ton brigade." Yeah, it's mate. Honestly, we've had some weird ones, and then that is as simple as that. They'd get accepted into NATO. We don't. It doesn't take people can just start up a unit, have two people, three people, four people, five people. It doesn't matter. NATO is there to try and help people. Um, and that's all it takes. But again, a lot of people are suspicious because they seem to think that NATO is just there to try and recruit you and your Milsim into this big Illuminati type group, and
Yes,
you say,
we've seen a couple of those.
yeah, I know they exist. I've seen them.
No, but um, like I know it's late where you're at right now, but is there anything else you want to uh, give a shout out or anything else you want to say before we call it a night?
I'm happy, mate. I'm just want to thank everyone for like making NATO what it is, and I hope everyone sticks around and keeps it as it was.
How pissed would you be? If you get like it'd be like a week or two later, you get like a fucking Discord call at a random time at night. It's like, hey, we need your help again.
Mate, I will help it as much as needed. You know what I mean? But it's kind pop ship now. He is the captain of the ship, as that Captain Sully says on that meme. You know where he looks and says, "I'm the captain now." That is him, mate, through and through. He is the field marshal, General Patton of that entire thing. But if he ever calls and needs my help, or just needs an administrator here or an admin there for a couple of weeks, I'll do it to help people. You know what I mean? Because I'm a founder. It's like if you well, here's an example. If I give you a game and I release it to the public and be like, yeah, it's good to go, but then they find bugs and they start reporting it to me, as a good game developer, you're going to go back on you and fix those bugs.
Right.
That's exactly what I feel like would happen with the community. I can't just abandon it. I'm not that type of person. As we say in as we say in where I'm from, mate, it's called a jack cunt.
But all right, man. Well, it's good talking to you. Hope you have good endeavors. Whichever. I know you're gonna probably take a break from Milson for a while after all this. Um,
Yeah, you.
but it's good talking to you. Whatever you start, just we look forward to seeing whatever new endeavors you yourself into. Um, whether it be Armor Forger or waiting for the next armor to come out. But anywho, folks, that would do it for this episode of Sit Down. Uh, if you guys just joined or uh, left early, we'll have this shit on YouTube for everyone to watch. Yeah. Anyway, Nomad, thanks for taking time out of your day or night.
Cheers for having me, mate. Honestly.
All right. And folks, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one.